Is Arizona Sunshine 2 worth $60 as a day one purchase? At first glance, the answer should be a resounding yes. The first Arizona Sunshine was a great game, a quintessential title for early VR. And now, to be honest, I would recommend the first Arizona Sunshine to anyone with a headset. So the franchise is great, and therefore, a resounding yes. And yet, I'm still unsure. Arizona Sunshine 2 is being hailed as a next-gen VR title. And from what I've seen, there's no denying that. The visuals are impressive, the zombies are all unique and distinct from each other, the lighting looks great, especially on the flamethrower. I've heard it iterated many times how interactive the world is, with everyone feeding sausages to each other, but trees sway from explosions and zombies receive dynamic damage, a gore system reminiscent of Dead Island 2. It all looks great, and sounds great, and therefore a resounding yes. And yet I'm still unsure. Narratively, it should be great. I love stories that seem initially campy and simplistic, but contain a dark, mature theme just below the surface. Borderlands 1 and 2, which at first appeared to be cartoony comedies with guns, surprised me with its disturbing lore and unhinged violence. No Man's Sky, for all its bright colors and calming music, is a universe brimming with mature backstories of war, slavery, prejudice, fear, sacrifice, which greatly surprised me. The first Arizona Sunshine took a similar approach, with the protagonist having a light-hearted demeanor, full of quips and jokes, engaging in playful banter with Fred. But as the game continued, you came to realize that our protagonist was on the verge of complete breakdown, that the thin thread of hope was the only thing sustaining him, and losing that hope damn near drove him over the brink. As it is written, hope deferred maketh the heart sick. Arizona Sunshine 2, from the trailers, appears to be carrying along with the same themes. But with the advent of the canine companion, the stakes of a potentially gut-wrenching story are primed to be told. As I said, a resounding yes. So why am I still so unsure of purchasing it day one? My hesitancy, I realize, is based on one thing: my unfounded expectation of what I want this game to be as opposed to what it is. As I watch all the recent gameplay footage, I am struck with a sense of disappointment as I realize this game is likely to be a series of linear corridors, where I as a player will walk from point A to point B until the campaign reaches its conclusion. I remember playing the first Arizona Sunshine, seeing its expansive vistas and wishing they were tangible, explorable, but understandably they weren't. But when Arizona Sunshine 2 was announced, I thought, yes, now is the time to see the franchise push those boundaries. But then I watched the gameplays and saw the same narrow spaces of the first game. I grew up in Arizona. I walked those deserts many times, and this setting is perfect for a game like this. I don't want corridors, I want exploration. In the trailer, there's a moment when the player moves a colored 2x4, so Dogmeat can slip through the fence and open the gate. It's fine, in and of itself there's nothing wrong with it. But it looks like a gimmick. I'm tired of gimmicks in VR. Give me a tangible world with problems to solve and not a scripted gimmick that VR games have been implementing since their inception. Instead, give me the objective of reaching a building and allowing me to carve my own path. Whether I stack some boxes to hop the fence, or use a hammer to tear down the fence, or toss a ball over the fence to draw a buddy's attention, to get him in position to open the gates, give me anything more than just moving the yellow painted 2x4. I want to be hyped for this game. I really do. And I was actually. Until I saw the gameplay reveal. And now I'm not. Perhaps there's a great deal more of the game that has yet to be shown, and all my concerns will be rendered mute. I hope so, to be honest. I realize that the fault of this ultimately lies with me. I should be judging this game not as I would have it to be, but as what it is, and what the developers intended it to be. And if the developers intended this to be a linear corridor shooter, with an engaging narrative and some heart-wrenching moments, this game may well be a 10 out of 10. I suppose I was just hoping for more.